today's video, we're going to talk about how to use VOC AI to spot the top customer complaints and use that information to improve your product listing. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley. This is important because most listings don't underperform because the product is bad. They underperform because the listing doesn't address real customer concerns. So in this video, you'll learn how to look at reviews the right way, how VOC AI organizes customer feedback so it actually makes sense, and how to turn common complaints into clear listing improvements. By the end, you'll understand how to adjust your listing so it answers objections before customers even have to ask. So let's get into it. Let's start off with the basics and talk about what VOC AI actually is. So it's an AI tool designed to analyze customer reviews and feedback at scale. Instead of manually reading through hundreds or thousands of reviews, it pulls out patterns, themes, and repeated complaints so you can see what customers are actually saying. The tool is built around one core idea. Customers are already telling you what's wrong and what's missing. The problem isn't lack of information. The problem is that the information is scattered across reviews, written in emotional language, and that's hard to organize. VOC AI takes that messy feedback and turns it into structured insight that you can use to improve your product, your listing, and your messaging. Let's talk about why improving your listing starts with complaints. A lot of people think reviews are only useful for deciding whether a product is good or bad. In reality, reviews are most useful when you're trying to improve how a product is presented. Complaints are especially valuable because they usually reveal confusion, unmet expectations, or missing clarity. Many of these issues are not product problems at all, they're communication problems. When customers complain about something that could have been better explained, shown more clearly, or set up more honestly in the listing, that's a huge opportunity. Improving your listing based on complaints can often increase conversions without changing the product itself. The challenge is volume. Reading a handful of reviews is easy. Reading hundreds and identifying patterns is not. And that's where VOC AI comes in. How VOC AI looks at customer feedback. So it doesn't treat reviews as individual opinions, it looks at them collectively. Instead of reacting to one angry review or one glowing comment, the tool looks for repetition. When the same issue appears again and again, that becomes a signal. VOC AI groups feedback into themes, identifies common phrases, and highlights areas of frustration and satisfaction. This helps you see what matters most to customers instead of guessing based on intuition. The goal is not to eliminate all negative feedback. The goal is to understand which complaints point to fixable listing issues. One of the most important features of VOC AI is its ability to aggregate large volumes of reviews into a single analysis. This means you can look at feedback across many customers at once instead of reading reviews one by one. Another key feature is sentiment grouping. Feedback is categorized into positive, negative, and neutral sentiment, which makes it easier to focus specifically on complaints when you're trying to improve a listing. They also group feedback into themes. So instead of seeing random comments, you'll see clusters like quality concerns, usability issues, expectations not met, or confusion around features. Another powerful feature is phrase extraction. So it surfaces the actual language customers use when they complain. This matters because those words often point directly to what your listing needs to clarify. Overall, the platform helps you move from emotional reactions to structured insight. How to think about complaints before changing your listing. So before you touch your listing, it's important to shift how you think about complaints. Not all complaints mean something is broken. Some complaints mean customers expected something different than what they received. That difference between expectation and reality is where listing improvements matter the most. If customers complain that something was smaller than expected, heavier than expected, or harder to use than expected, that's often a sign that the listing didn't set expectations clearly enough. VOC AI helps you identify these expectation gaps so you can address them directly in your listing. So here's how you can do it step by step inside VOC AI. First, you need to decide which product you want to analyze, whether it's your own listing or a competitor's product with enough reviews to show clear patterns. Next, you want to load the customer reviews into VOC AI so the system can process and organize the feedback at scale. Then you're going to review the grouped feedback and focus on negative and mixed sentiment to see which complaints appear most often. Then identify repeated issues around confusion, expectations, usability, or missing information rather than one-off opinions. After that, you'll interpret whether each top complaint points to a product issue or a listing issue, and then prioritize the ones that can be solved with clear communication. You'll want to update your listing to directly address those complaints through better images, clear copy, added explanations or expectation setting details. Monitor new reviews over time, then revisit VOC AI regularly to see whether the same complaints decrease as your listing improves. Now, how this improves conversion without changing the product. One of the biggest advantages of using this tool is that you can improve performance without changing the product itself. When listings clearly address common complaints, customers feel more confident. They know what they're buying. Fewer surprises means fewer negative comments and fewer returns. Clear listings also attract the right customers. People who would have been disappointed may self-select out, while people who are a better fit move forward with confidence. This leads to better reviews over time, which just creates a positive feedback loop. Now for the pros and cons. So one of the biggest pros of VOC AI is clarity. It helps you see which complaints matter more instead of reacting to individual reviews emotionally. Another advantage is time savings. Reading and organizing reviews manually takes a long time. VOC AI does that work for you and presents it in a usable way. It's also flexible. You can use it for improving listings, researching competitors, or refining messaging. Now on the downside, the tool depends on having enough reviews to actually analyze. If a product has very little feedback, insights are going to be very limited. Another consideration is interpretation. The tool shows patterns, but you still need to decide how to act on them. It doesn't automatically fix your listing. Now let's touch on the different plans and pricing options. So if you don't have a VOC AI account, we do have a link down in the description below. Once you click that link, we can go to plans and pricing. Okay, so they've got a couple different options here. They've got the Pro, the Team, and the Enterprise. The Pro plan is for advanced product research, and this is just $99 per month. With this, you get one account, 600 reports per month of Amazon review analysis, 600 reports a month of market insights, 500 points quota a month of review monitoring, and things like AI Assist, browser extension, and 10 plus AI seller accounts. Then we've got the Team plan, which is $299 per month. This is for teams in a growing brand. With this, you get one admin account and 5 sub accounts, and then you get more reports, more marketing insights, and then you get 20 reports a month, daily social media monitoring, AI image creation, browser extension, and so much more. Then we've got the Enterprise plan, which you do need to go ahead and contact sales, but with this, you get unlimited, pretty much everything, unlimited accounts, unlimited reports, unlimited social mentions, and advanced AI features as well. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to touch on a couple of bonus tips for using complaints to improve listings faster. So one helpful tip is to prioritize complaints that appear early and often. If the same issue shows up across different time periods, it's usually more important than a recent one-off complaint. Another tip is to compare complaints to your current listing. Read your own listing as if you were a customer seeing it for the first time. Ask yourself whether the complaint would still make sense after reading the listing. If the answer is yes, that's your fix. It's also helpful to look at how competitors address similar complaints in their listings. This can just give you ideas for visuals, explanations, or phrasings that actually work. And finally, remember that improving a listing is an ongoing process. Customer expectations evolve, and your listing should evolve with them. And VOC AI makes it so much easier to listen consistently instead of just guessing. You should consider VOC AI if you want to improve your listing based on real customer feedback instead of assumptions. It's especially helpful if your product has reviews, but conversions aren't where you want them to be. The tool is a great fit for e-commerce sellers and anyone who wants to reduce returns, improve reviews, and increase confidence before purchase. It may not be necessary if a product has very little feedback available. In that case, other validation methods are probably going to come first. But if you have a ton of reviews that already exist, VOC AI is going to help you turn complaints into clarity. I know how frustrating it can feel when a product is solid but the listing just isn't converting the way that you expect. Listening to customer feedback is going to make your listings so much more intentional. If you want to try VOC AI yourself, don't forget to use our link down in the description below. I do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much in advance for supporting our channel. It really helps us to continue to create free content just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. This channel is dedicated to breaking down AI tools in a simple, honest way so you can build smarter and faster without the overwhelm. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.